Oi, oi! I thought I'd just throw this one out there. Thought I'd come out for a bit of a walk. Came across those old Reddit cranes over there, and it was funny because you can tell which is the the guarding one, and like through the two babies and one of the adults went down by the water, and then the other one was stood there like waiting for me to kind of walk by. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't messing with that. No chance. But I wanted to talk about, being okay with letting things go, especially when it comes to people. And it's being okay with the changes that you make to yourself and being happy with that. And working on the not tuning in to the wanting to please. As we make those changes to ourselves for the better and we start moving forward, there's going to be a lot of people that ain't going to like that. There might be those people, maybe you're trying to get off a substance or alcohol is one of them, right? Yeah. How many people kind of like when you say you give up alcohol, how many may just like kind of slip by and all of a sudden, right? Because maybe you made them feel better about themselves. And all of a sudden you're like, it's not that you were judging them or anything like that. But all of a sudden, right? Are you okay with accepting and letting go if it drifts? I've got a bit of it going on, and you think you're to blame, and am I doing things right, or am I doing enough? Oh yeah, I can. And don't get me wrong, I think we can all look at ourselves and say to ourselves, yeah, okay, I can see I can blame as well, but there's always those ones that turn up, they're always there. I've got mates that every now and again you hear from them, hey, what's up, and then I've got regular, where you're kind of back and forth messaging more, and then and then there's those where you just know. It just like all of a sudden it's like there may not be the checking up. You may find yourself doing it on the one-sided a little bit. Or, and don't get me wrong, I know with mental health, I know with myself, we can withdraw. We can start withdrawing. And we withdraw from people and things we like to do and all kinds of shit. So I understand, that's what I mean. I know we have our part to play. And I know, when it comes to myself, if I'm going through some situations, or sometimes if I'm just literally working on myself, in a heavier way or a heavier manner, then I have a tendency to pull back, which doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right. It means I'm obviously doing it for a reason, but sometimes it can be not good. You start pulling yourself back. Let's walk up here a little bit. You start pulling yourself back. And you're going into a place that's maybe not clever, and sometimes that person that you don't hear from for a little bit all of a sudden pops up. That's what I mean. They turn up every now and again, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, are you alright? Ain't heard or whatever, right? But you just get to know the ones that are like, and it's being able to accept. It's being able to, oh crikey, my shoulder just went. It's being able to accept. It's being able to accept and being able to let go. Otherwise, it just becomes a sadness, really. Because it can be sad, right? And then you can get into, it's like grief, like something's gone missing. And then you think of all the old, some of the old times that you had the laughs and shit like that, and so I get it. I get it. It's a hard thing to accept, or be able to accept. But it's one of the things in Buddhism is being able to let go, and not attach, and know that things shift and journeys go in different directions, and it doesn't mean they don't love you. Doesn't mean they ain't there. If you used to pick that phone up, it'd be like all over it, guaranteed. So it doesn't mean they don't care about you. It doesn't mean they don't love you. Unless you've had a fucking bust up, then yeah, okay, right. But right. So go over here. So, you know, it's being able to let go of those ones that, you know, just drifted quite a bit, and the contact gets a little less. And yes, like I say, you know, maybe we're being able to let go of it there, you know, but because we're not making contact either. But when you find it, you're doing it, and the other person's kind of, that's when I start going, okay, you know. And it's not just that; it's just being able to accept that it's happening. That's hard. But also look at it as in movement, maybe growth, right? Growing, you know. There's no saying it down the road. You're like, hey, let me give that person a shout, and you fucking pick the phone up. They're like, oh shit, man. Damn, I'm glad you showed up because blah 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 X Y Z and da da da, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no shit, and this is happening. You're meeting different people and networking, and you're back chatting, and you know. So like I say, doesn't mean they don't love you, don't care about you, unless there's been things there. And in that case, if you care enough about each other, you work that out, right? Which is it's probably what I'm going to do, you know. Because I know my different mates, and I know and friends, and I know how I've been. In fact, I reached out today to one, and because I know that I've been a bit withdrawing a little bit, and said, hey, what's up? But he's got, he's in the old mental health too, so he knows the score when I say, and there's no excuses really, because they're the ones you really want to reach out to when you're getting a little bit like, oh shit, this is hurting a bit. But I just said, like, dude, I've had some shit going on with working out and that, and you know the score. So yeah, just be willing to accept and let go. Stay that course, guys. Namaste.